What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode this week where we're going to talk all about what happens to your body when you get shredded. Now, before we get started, what you see right now is the traditional setup that I do every week. But in the last week or so, since the last video came out, which was actually 2 weeks ago, we have got a new setup. And with that being said, I have a new HD camera with a shotgun mic so we can get better quality videos, and I have a nice lighting setup here behind me, and I'm going to set all of that up. And so here in 1 second I'm going to instantly switch what you're seeing over to the new camera with HD, the shotgun mic, and all of our new lighting. So we're gonna do that right now. And just like that, we have the new setup, we have the lighting, we have the HD camera. You guys can hear my voice crisp and clear. And this is our new setup. Obviously, it's still my office, but with a lot better picture, sound, and lighting. So today's topic is what actually happens to your body when you get shredded. There's a lot that goes on, a lot of different chemical reactions, the metabolism, your energy levels. We're just gonna kind of cover things in a nutshell today. We're not gonna get too deep into the science because I know that bores you guys. So to get things started, let's talk about bodybuilders and competitors, because those are the people that truly do get shredded to the point where it's uncomfortable. And I know this doesn't relate to everybody, but it's a good place for us to start, and then I can relate this onto the general person that wants to just have a nice six-pack, right? And we'll compare the two. So first, we're going to start with the bodybuilders, the competitors, the bikini girls, all of those competitors, what it takes to get that lean. So the first thing is first, you have to have a very good off season, meaning you need to be getting the calories very high, you need to be staying on your cardio, you need to be training very, very hard and very intense. And what that's going to do with the higher calories, with the harder intensity, the more calories burned each day is you're increasing a need for more calories. And you're going to have to eat more food to obtain that higher level of training, and so on and so forth. And so what happens is you get your metabolism very high in the off season. Now, with that being said, you need to make sure you're keeping a good physique. So many times, and I've seen it firsthand, people gain 35, 45, 50 pounds in an off season, and they expect to get in shape in 16 to 20 weeks. And guys, that's not gonna happen. It makes it very, very hard, and when you try to do that, you're just not a quality competitor. It's just not gonna happen. You can't expect to gain 35 pounds or 40 pounds in 3 to 4 months post-show or in the off-season, and then think that you can cut it back off in 4 months. You're not gonna have quality gains. You're not gonna look like a quality competitor on stage. It's just not gonna happen. It's gonna make things very difficult for you, your body, and your metabolism going forward. Typically, what I see with competitors like that is they have a bad habit of yo-yo dieting, meaning that they lose the weight, they get semi-lean, then they gain the weight back, and they lose the weight. What happens this whole time is their metabolism starts this downward spiral to the point where they have to cut calories drastically in the future in order to actually lose the weight needed to step back on stage or to get as lean as they should be. And typically that becomes the amount of calories they have to cut outweighs the time allowed. So they have 12 weeks out from the show, they're only eating 1,200 calories a day or 1,300 calories a day. They're just not gonna make it to the show. They don't have enough left in the tank to make it to the show. They don't have enough calories to pull from. So the first thing is first, you have to have a good metabolism. You have to get your metabolism in the right spot by getting food elevated, by training hard, by being consistent. And if you really want to get lean, you can forget alcohol. And I know that people are going to argue with me every day on that, but guys, I'm telling you, it does not benefit the body. If you want to do this for health purposes, then you need to be doing it for just that, health purposes. And alcohol isn't going to benefit you in any way. So it's better just to put it to the side, don't worry about it, focus on your body, focus on making the most results, because even one glass of wine can stay in your system for up to 5 days. So it's important that you don't jeopardize your own progress. Don't jeopardize yourself by drinking and trying to just kind of conform to what everybody else is doing, what your girlfriend, what your wife is doing. It doesn't matter. Just focus on yourself. At the end of the day, your physique, your happiness, your body, what your goals are the only ones that matter when it comes down to you and yourself. So you have to be consistent. You have to keep the diet clean. Now we're going to get into the timeline of things, okay? We already know that you have to have a good metabolism and you have to keep the diet clean and you can't be drinking alcohol. You need to be training hard. That's a given. We've talked about that in other videos. You should go watch those if you don't understand those 3 points. Now the timeline. This is when you guys are going to learn some new things today. We haven't talked about this. Is the timeline. So typically what happens when somebody wants to get leaner is they start off at the beginning, their calories are very high. And as they train, as they change up their diet, they eat clean. Now, eating clean as in eating the same things every day. You can do an approach such as if it fits your macros. I know a lot of coaches are fond of that method. But in my opinion, if you really want to have a quality physique, and you want to hold a lot of muscle, you need to be eating high quality protein, high quality carbs, high quality fats. I'm sorry, but protein shakes and Cocoa Puffs, because it's protein and carbs, isn't going to cut it. So you're not going to be a quality competitor doing that. Period. Point blank. That is that. So you need to be taking in like chicken, fish, steak, white rice, jasmine rice, basmati rice. All the rice doesn't matter. Typically, I stay away from brown rice because brown rice has there's not special. It's an ingredient in the bran of the grain that can actually blunt protein synthesis. So you don't want to have brown rice, in my opinion. Now it's not going to kill you if you do, but it's just I don't want to jeopardize my protein synthesis by any means. So I'd rather just not have it. Sweet potatoes, peanut butter, avocados, olive oil, those sorts of foods are really good. They're going to help balance out your hormones and they're going to set you up for progress in the long run. So you have to start off with the higher calories first. Now as you diet, as you eat clean, you're consistent every single day, you're going to notice that your weight is starting to drop down. Now when that happens, eventually you're going to get to a point where you need to make a change because your body's going to adapt it to those new calorie ranges and it's going to hit a plateau. So what we do at that point is we increase a little bit of the cardio. So maybe you just add in 10 minutes of cardio a day, 10 minutes more. Maybe you add in 2 or 3 intervals of HIIT, and that's all you do. High intensity interval training. We talked about that in the 2 videos ago, so if you haven't seen that, go check it out. And then what you can do also is you can drop the calories just a little bit. Now the first place to drop calories is always going to be the carbs. Carbs come out first because while carbs are present in the system and your blood sugar has been elevated, body fat has stopped being burnt. When you introduce carbs into the body will stop burning body fat and it'll start utilizing those carbs as energy. So as you get leaner, as you strive to get leaner, you want to slowly bring those carbs back so that your body can burn its own fat reserves more than the calories through the carbs that you're pulling in. So as you start to get leaner, this timeline's going on, you get leaner, you're gonna hit another plateau. Again, increase the cardio, pull the calories down. Now you keep doing that. You keep stair-stepping down, you're noticing changes in the mirror. You're also going to notice a lack of energy. And that's the biggest issue a lot of people face when they try to go on a severe cutting diet and they try to get really, really lean. If you're doing it right, it's going to creep up on you. It's not just going to hit you one day and you're going to feel like you're dying. But it's going to notice like, this week I'm a little bit more tired. My body's more tired. Now I'm not tired as in I'm sleeping, I want to go to bed. I'm tired as in like, just things just feel like they take so much more energy out of me. And that's a good sign your body is on a good track. You're on a good calorie restriction and you're getting leaner. Not to mention just the simple change on the scale and the change in the mirror. So as you get leaner, you notice that the tired feeling, that exhaustion continues to snowball. And it gets a little bit more and it gets a little bit more to the point that really you question the ability to tie your shoes. I remember one of my shows 2 years ago, I was just a couple of weeks out. I was so exhausted. I was on basically 20 to 30 grams of carbs a day. So I wasn't quite on a ketogenic diet, but I was getting close. I was training extremely hard. I was giving everything I had into that prep. And simply just switching my shoes from my street shoes into my workout shoes was a chore. Just putting on my shoes I would sit there, they would be untied, and I would just be drained. I didn't even want to tie them because I was so tired. I thought, I'll just tuck my shoelaces in today and I'll go on with my workout, and I'll make sure and tie them before my cardio, because I did not want, just for me, picking up my gym bag, it was just like lugging it around. It was just tiring for me. Getting in and out of my car was tiring. So it will creep up on you, and that's a good sign that you are getting lean. And when that happens, you usually are definitely single-digit body fat. You're talking 6, maybe 5%, 7% body fat. You're definitely down there. You're definitely seeing striations and vascularity all over your body. You're really, really lean. You just see every detail under your skin. You almost look like an anatomy chart. And it definitely is a cool look, and people are always impressed when you maybe wear a cut-off shirt in the gym, or you take off your shirt somewhere on the beach. Everybody notices. But trust me, guys, it may look cool to be that lean, but it does not feel good to be that lean. And it's not a bad thing. It's just it's a sacrifice. If you want to take your body to those subhuman body fat levels, you're gonna have to suffer a little bit. And part of that is just because your leptin levels are so low, so your body never feels satisfied. Leptin's a hormone that makes you feel satisfied when you get done eating, or leptin's also made in the fat cells. So the more fat cells you have, the more you feel satisfied. You don't need to eat because your body has those fat stores. But as those fat stores shrink, as those fat cells shrink, less leptin's made. So that means you feel hungry more often. And so that you're hungry often, you can't sleep at night. Sleep's another thing when you get very, very lean, is that you struggle sleeping. You can take all the sleep medication in the world and still lay there in bed, and it's just like your body won't shut down. It's very strange. You can feel very tired and exhausted, but you can't sleep. So it becomes quite the chore. Just living becomes quite a chore when you're that lean. Now, to keep getting leaner and to make things more obtainable, because if you stay on this track and you don't ever do a cheat meal or a refeed day, a high carb day, you're going to eventually kind of fizzle out. Your body's going to just stop. It's just going to stop trying to get leaner. It's going to start fighting you severely on this. So what I like to do with my clients and myself is every time that I start to see them getting to the point where they're hitting a plateau, instead of pulling carbs out and adding cardio more, because there's only so much you can do that. Instead, I will give them a cheat day. I want you to eat pancakes, peanut butter on top. I want you to have pizza, pasta, ice cream. I want you just to eat whatever you want for the day or for half the day. And what will happen is they will get all those calories in their system. Their body will feel satisfied and satiated. They'll be able to sleep for the next few days. Their metabolism will get revved up. Usually they tell me that they have night sweats like crazy because their metabolism is so revved up. All these calories, it's like taking tons of fat burners and caffeine, and you're sweating, you're hot, and it doesn't sound very good, I know, but trust me, it feels great when you're starving and you're exhausted, and you can have a large pizza and you can eat some cheat food. Makes you feel good, plus it cures your cravings, and you can go to bed, you can sleep really, really good for the next few days. You get great pumps in the gym because all those calories and carbs and sodium are hitting those muscle bellies and filling you up, and it really gets it's like adding fuel to the fire. So your metabolism's up, you're feeding it tons of food in one day, and you start burning it rapidly, and that kind of speeds it up. It's like pushing the gas pedal a little bit further on the car and then leaving it there and putting it on cruise control. And so what happens is after you burn through those cheat foods that you had on the cheat day, your metabolism's still elevated, but your calories have been back to normal for a few days, and you've burned through all those extra calories. So metabolism starts to then continue to attack more fat. So you start to burn more fat, and that may last for 2, 3, 4 days until the metabolism takes a dip again, and you need another cheat day to bring things back up. So it's like a fire, right? And the fire starts to die down, and then you throw some gas on it, and it lights up again, and it starts burning everything around it, and then it starts to die back down, and then you throw some more gas on it, which is like your cheat meal, and it fires it back up again, starts burning hotter than ever, burning everything around it, and it starts dying back down again. And when you're at that point, typically what happens is you'll go, what I notice from my clients is they'll go from a cheat meal once every 2 weeks to then a cheat meal once a week, to a cheat meal maybe once every 5 days, and then a cheat meal once every 4 days, and then eventually a cheat meal every 3 days. And then I've had some clients we've had a cheat meal every other day. So it'll be a cheat meal, no carbs, a cheat meal, no carbs. And these clients, they're getting leaner and leaner and leaner. And they're having like a pizza 3 times a week, and they're shredded. But it takes time to get there, and you can only get there by having a high metabolism, by having the proper steps in place to get your body to that point. So that's kind of what happens when your body gets truly shredded, and then that's what happens during the timeline of events when someone's trying to get lean. Now, that was kind of towards the competitive side. For the general population that just wants to have a tight toned stomach and you want to look really good, the first thing is first, you should never be starving. You can have a 6-pack, you can a female can have a really tight toned stomach, tight back, and a great physique without starving. So if you're starving or your trainer has you starving, you're doing it wrong, they're doing it wrong. Don't listen to people that try to tell you starving is the only way to get to a good physique. Now, getting on stage, getting stage shredded, subhuman body fat levels, that's different. That's competitive. We're not talking about competitive anymore. We're talking about just getting to good, lean look for summer 2020. And so to do that, you still need to have a high metabolism, but it's not going to take you as long to get there. It's going to take a lot of hard work. You still have to be consistent. You still need to strive to stay away from alcohol as much as possible. Competing, cut it out completely. When you're wanting just to get nice and toned, you know, just know that alcohol will set you back. 1 glass of wine, it'll set you back at least a day. It's the sugars, the alcohol, it will stay in the muscle bellies and it can prevent you from having the best muscle contractions the next day. So just keep that in mind. Now, if you're doing it every night, you're not going to see progress. I've seen this a million times. Guys and girls try to have wine every night. Does not make any sense. They don't see results. So you're going to have to get your metabolism elevated, cut alcohol out, I'd say 99% of the time, and then you're going to have to be consistent with your diet, consistent with your training, train hard. You need to be lifting weights. That's the key. When people say they want to get toned, and I hear this a lot from women, they say, I want to get toned, but I want to build muscle. Well, you're going to build muscle. If you want to get toned, you have to build muscle to push tight, to push against the skin and pull the skin tight. So that's how that works. What you see, especially in females, is muscle tone, is that their muscles have grown, their body fat has shrank, and it's pulled the skin tight. That's muscle tone. Okay, so if you want to build muscle tone, guy or girl, then you need to cut the alcohol out nearly all the way. You need to stay consistent with your diet. You need to train, use weights, train heavy. Heavy training will always win against lightweight training. If you go to the gym and you see people sitting there and they're just curling some weights and they're just talking and they're not really, breaking a sweat, then you're not making results. And if your trainer has you going to the gym doing, a chest press machine and you're just chatting or you're watching TV talking about the news, you're not going to see results. Fire the trainer, stop working, stop listening to people that give you that garbage advice, and just go to the gym and just push yourself. Just get your body moving. If you can do that consistently, and it's all going to depend on the timeline for a general population person is different. I'd say if you had 30 pounds to lose until you're 10% body fat, then it probably should take you around 4 to 5 months, given that your diet's not like a competition style diet. If you're a female and you're already a small petite girl, then maybe it'll take you two months. Maybe it'll take you 10 weeks to get there. 2.5 months or so. It all depends on your physique, your schedule, and your consistency. Your consistency comes down. The more consistent you are, then the faster you're going to see results. So that's the video for this week. It's the timeline of events. What happens to the body when you truly get lean? How do you make the changes needed to get the leanest that you can be? And then how do we take a competition style plan and correlate that over to the general population? And how do you guys, the general population, get lean? And you just have to be consistent, and you need to get your metabolism elevated. If you're not eating very much food right now, don't expect to be lean by this summer. I'm sorry, guys, it's just not going to happen. You're going to have to put being shredded on the back burner for now. You're going to have to focus on going to the gym, hitting the weights hard, doing the cardio hard, doing some HIIT training, maybe the spin bike, battle ropes, jumping jacks, jump ropes, whatever. Just be moving, go hard as you can. And you need to get your food up. You have to get your food up so you have enough to pull out of the tank when you get lean. So think about that, guys. If you want to be lean for summer, you're gonna have to get your food higher so that you can have something to pull from here in the next month or two when you want to tone down really quickly for summer. Guys, that's the video for today. Thank you for watching. Give us a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button below. If you haven't seen my other channel, go search Blake Covington. It's not this channel. You'll see this channel pop up because I do have Blake Covington as a tag for this video, but you'll see Blake Covington, the actual channel. Go subscribe to that. I'd really appreciate it. You actually get to see what I do behind the scenes of all of this, of running my businesses, of running the fitness business. You're gonna get to see my workout videos. You're gonna get to see what I eat at night before bed, what I eat in the morning, what I drink, what my supplements are. And guys, you're gonna see kind of behind the scenes my life, my personal life, what I'm doing from day to day running a fitness business. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button, give us a like, share with your friends, download the app below for free, and have a great day.